and his stun gun and came back outside to confront the Durham family.
Burn from the way that we love, yeah. She's the light and the gas, I'm the wood, yeah. Gave my heart to the wrong one, I learned, yeah. Shine bright like the sun, now I'm burned, yeah. I want your heart now. You won't give it up, yeah. You think you're the one now. You don't know how to love, yeah. Yeah, I ran away. She wanna hold me.
It's good. Dark Knight Gang and it's that gang. Yo, today I'm about to do a video from Destiny. Oh, that's kind of dope. His channel name is Destiny. It's Destiny, man. I'm literally Clout. I'm chilling. This one right here is titled "The Boy Who Murdered His Neighbor for TikTok." What? Yeah, we gotta hop into this, man. You tripping. Y'all out here tripping. Y'all do anything for clout. Listen, you part of the Dark Knight Gang. You can't be, nah, bro, chill. You can't be doing nothing like that. Killing people, killing your neighbor just for TikTok, that's insane. Listen, this is already an 18-minute video. You know me, I can talk a lot. I'll end up turning this into a 30-minute video. Of course, I'm gonna have commentary, but any of my commentary, I'm gonna speak over the homie Destiny. You feel me? Because I'm sure 18 minutes or whatever's happening, I'm gonna speak over it. So yeah, I'm ready to hop on into it, so let's go.
Latham allegedly stabbed 52-year-old Timmy Durham to death.
There's blood all over the place. I just got assaulted and jumped.
Aggravated manslaughter.
Said his name is Timmy?
Who drives 100 miles an hour through a residential neighborhood?
Oh, he's in the army too.
Single-minded goal of becoming famous on TikTok.
A knife, dude, you better play.
Alright, so in today's video, I'm going to be explaining how an 18-year-old kid from Vineland, New Jersey ended up in jail for murdering his neighbor because his thirst for clout got the best of him. You know, it's a really tragic line of events and was completely avoidable if the right intervention was taking place. But that never happened. One small problem spiraled out of control and eventually turned into a chaotic shitstorm that couldn't be stopped once things got too far. And I first heard about this story from a viewer of mine who messaged me on Instagram saying, "Hey Destiny, you probably have seen this or not, I want you to react to it. I know it happened 2 months ago, but I just heard of it now." And she linked me a video saying, "Did teen kill neighbor to become famous on TikTok?" I even stopped watching the video because I can watch you react to it, so please do. And by the way, I don't really do reaction videos, but obviously this person who's
yes, you do.
I'm not gonna even try.
This is considered a reaction video, bro. Don't hate it. Don't hate it, cause you part of the gang. Nah,
I was in fear of butchering it. Really wanted me to look into the story and talk about it, and that is exactly what I did. I investigated to see what happened, and man, I seriously had to roll my eyes after reading up on the entire situation. So basically what happened was this 16-year-old kid named Zachary Latham moved into his grandparents' house on Thornhill Road in Vineland, New Jersey, and quickly got into some beef with his new neighbors after Mr. Durham, the husband and father who lived next door, complained to Zach's grandparents about his alleged reckless driving once he got there. And you know how some kids are. Once they get their license, they act like they've never been in a car before and start driving around like they're in Mario Kart. But based on my understanding, after the talk that Mr. Durham had with Zach's grandparents ended, Zach's grandpa pulled him to the side and was like, "Hey, yo, Zach, come over here, B. You gotta stop all that crazy driving you doing around my hood before me and the missus decide to put your ass back on the street." And you know, basically, they forced Zach to go on over to Mr. Durham's house and apologize for driving around the neighborhood like a crackhead that just got his license for the first time. However, based on what I've gathered after looking into the story deeper, Zach's apology was filled with nothing but lies, and soon after that, he quickly went back to his antics and continued on throughout the community with his reckless driving. Mr. Durham, now seeing that Zach really didn't care and completely dismissed what had happened earlier today as if he was a dementia patient with short-term memory loss, got really annoyed. And his impression of Zach being his new neighbor in his neighborhood plummeted into a deep, dark, fiery hole of hell that could never return. From that point on there, he really did not like Zach. And that is when everything started to go downhill and was the catalyst for what would one day start a bloody fight that would end up taking Mr. Durham's life. And you know, I think it's very important for me to clarify that the killing of Mr. Durham
this is my fault. Let me just speak
out of nowhere.
This is like something you'll see on a movie. You know what I'm saying?
Led to this deadly altercation
the neighbor
between
hates
Mr. Durham and Zach.
the
Because what most
annoying,
people fail to
obnoxious
realize
kid.
is that after the initial confrontation 2 years ago, there were many more small fights, arguments, and skirmishes between Mr. Durham, his family, and Zachary Latham. Like, this thing has been boiling up for a while now, and tensions have been rising. Like, for example, a month before the killing, on April 6th, Latham recorded himself embroiled in a heated confrontation with Mr. Durham's wife, Catherine, in which he, in a video that I'm going to show you guys in like a second, calls her Karen over and over again after she complains about his wild driving.
What are you going to do, Karen?
That's not my name, so get my name straight. Go ahead.
You okay, Karen? Go ahead, get my tag.
Joe,
Get my tag, Karen.
my name is not Karen. So
He
get
said
my
you
name
were
straight.
Karen.
Get my tag.
You
It's
worried
okay.
about how I'm driving.
A45MFA. Sir,
And after posting that clip, he went viral on TikTok. That specific clip accumulated over 3 million views on his TikTok account, and the people who commented on the video were suggesting that he cut her tires, egg her house, and continue to mess with her even more.
Bro.
Like, you can imagine how he felt after realizing that people actually enjoyed his destructive behavior and that they
It's the
actually
internet.
found it entertaining, especially when
Don't
considering
let that
that
go to
most
your
of his
head,
previous
cuz.
videos got no more than 150 likes at most. Inside his mind, he was probably thinking that this was his time to shine and was actively thinking of new ways to fuck with his next door neighbors. And days later though, Zach actually pulled up to Mrs. Durham's house and shouted, "Hey Karen, we went viral." Obviously trying to get inside Mrs. Durham's head by taunting her. And actually in another video that I saw that he recorded, it shows him having a confrontation with William Durham Jr., which is her 21-year-old son, as he walks up to Zach's car, saying, "Get out of the car, bro." And then Zach responds back by saying that he's armed with a knife. And then he took that video, which he recorded, posted it to his TikTok with a description, "Karen's son found the video, went viral, and tried taking me out of the car." And actually in an article it says here, police responded to this incident and took accounts from both Durham and Latham, but no charges were filed
What?
according
So this
to
was
an
a
investigation.
whole
The article, it also says he
beef
has also blown her a kiss
happening
as
on
he
TikTok.
stepped
This is
by
insane,
while
bro.
driving to his house. So obviously he was just continuing to mess with her and trying to taunt her,
This
you know,
is
trying to get a
insane.
reaction out of her. That's the kind of guy that he is. You know,
Okay.
this Zach guy.
This is
whoever
like
the
a
fuck he
movie. This is
a
insane.
straight
This
up
happened in
dickhead.
real life.
Like, he's an actual asshole. And to be honest, I would never want someone like him to be my neighbor because, like, we would definitely be fighting every other week if he was on some bullshit like that while living
this-
right next door to me.
this
But
don't make
after
any
reading
sense.
up on some articles about this
If somebody
guy
did
and
this
who
to my
he
mom,
is,
it's a
I
fake,
couldn't
guys.
find much.
You
Information about
trolling
his
my
life
mom,
and his personal
guys?
background was pretty sparse. However, after doing a little digging, I found out that this guy Zach was emancipated at 17 and was a soldier in the army serving as a National Guard private at 18. Which is ironic, since being a part of the National Guard means your job is to serve and protect your state,
Right.
country, and community,
But he
and
trolling.
not terrorizing and being a nuisance to your next door neighbors. I also found some images of him from his TikTok account that makes him look like a straight up egocentric kid. As you can see here in this image, it says 350Z owner, I love 5W-30. Is that a Tome dog? Society, neighbors hate you, cuts everybody off. What are blinkers? Road rage? Loud exhaust? My DE will smoke your HR?
I'm just
Is
laughing at
this
the
how
350Z.
douchebags communicate with each other? In another image it
That's
says
a
people in the army,
Nissan.
because he's a
That's a
National
car.
Guard in the army. He says drives a Mustang or Camaro with 20%
Hey, I
APR.
drive a
Drink
Camaro.
more
Be
than
quiet.
you. He gets called stuck up, always loud, chair force, anger issues, has guns, likes to party. So clearly this guy's an asshole. And he's making it out to seem as if these personality traits are actually cool. Pretty weird.
I don't know, but I drive the
And another
Camaro.
image it says
Chill.
owning a Corvette. By the way, I don't know how you have all these cars at 17, but I guess good for him. Daddy's money. What's the speed limit? Won a race. Revs at the red light. Gets heated on for having a nice car. Ew, a
When I say
Mustang
heated,
stuck
instead of
up.
hated.
Yeah, this guy is basically like the epitome of everything I hate about people personified. He apparently also has a history of simple assault, terroristic threats, and criminal mischief on his juvenile record.
Oh,
so
so the
when
homie
taking
just
that
got
into
issues.
account as
Let's
well,
keep it a stat.
Zach is obviously a troublemaker.
Yeah.
And you want to know what the crazy thing
Yeah.
is? The Durham family was trying to sort this whole thing out the legal way via the courts and through the law enforcement, but the police weren't helping very much and said that
not.
COVID-19 made the courts close. As stated here, the Durhams, their lawyers wrote, sought help from the Vineland police several times, but were repeatedly told that they could not sign a complaint against Mr. Latham since the courts were closed because of the coronavirus pandemic. And by the way, I get that
think
the coronavirus
courts
was
were
very
closed,
tragic,
bro.
is very tragic, as it's still going on, and, you know, we gotta take it seriously, but are we really just gonna sit here and disregard the legal complaints from a person
Yeah,
who's
that
in
is
desperate need of
insane,
help
though.
from a dickhead next door neighbor who's
feel like the
obviously
cops-
terrorizing
I don't
them?
know, I
Like,
thought the
where do you
cops
get help
had-
if not from law enforcement? The deceased father's
I
legal
guess
team notes that a
the rights
judge
to,
and several cops live in the area and knew about the
approve
past
it,
trouble
but I
Latham
guess it
had
has to go to
caused.
court. I didn't
Latham
know that.
even shared a video of a police officer confirming that he won't take any action even though he saw video evidence. It's unclear which incident he is addressing.
Face, we would arrest you. But you won't do anything even though you saw video proof, correct?
Correct.
Okay.
For your video, that is correct.
Thank you. Say what's up, TikTok.
TikTok?
Yeah, say what's up.
So my question
What?
is, what do you do when you're trying to do things the right way, but there's no one around to help you and your family?
Beat that little
Especially
nigga
after 2
ass.
whole years.
Nah.
You try and take matters into your own hands.
Oh, I would.
Unfortunately,
I got
though,
issues.
things went sideways for Mr. Durham when he tried to do just that.
Oh,
Because
dang,
on May
Mr.
4th,
Durham.
being the asshole that Zach Latham
should've
was,
took some, karate
Zach
classes.
allegedly swerved his car
Not
onto the
karate,
side of the
but like some
road
boxing
where
or something.
Mr. Durham's 17-year-old son was riding his bike. And that was the straw that broke the camel's back. Mr. Durham had had enough and decided to
that's crazy.
finally confront Zach face to face like a man after 2 years.
Why not let your
Especially
sons
considering
confront
that
him,
Zach
though?
was no longer a child and was now 18. I suppose he was no longer in fear of being charged with child abuse if things turned physical. As stated here though, after Zach, basically tried to hit his son, Mr. Durham pulled his truck into the street to block Latham's truck. Catherine Durham, his wife, recording the exchange on her phone, challenged Latham over the incident involving her son. Video footage shows Latham throwing an elbow
dang.
at Catherine Durham, pushing her back, knocking the phone from her hand, and speeding off toward his home. And then when Latham got to his
elbow
house,
at
his
the
wife,
mall?
because, he's actually married at 18, which is weird, who was recording the
His
scene
wife
with her
look
phone,
good, too.
walked down the driveway
If
to
that
confront
was
the
it.
Durham's sons as they came onto the property. Because
faded.
the whole family was actually involved in this situation.
Yeah, this
They
sounds
went over there like a
crazy.
squad trying to confront Zach about, just
My
everything
dude
that happened
throwing
over the
elbows
course of
at the
2
mom
years.
and stuff.
Sarah Latham, Zach's wife, told the Durham sons that they had better back up because they were not going to like what was coming out of the house. So obviously she was threatening the entire family. Soon after, William Durham, their father and the husband, arrived with his truck. Latham's public defenders say in their filing that he and his wife can be heard on the video footage clearly telling the Durhams several times to get off the property, and they are not welcome. The Durhams, their hands visibly empty, continued to approach, the prosecution filing says. So now the Durhams had crossed the line from their property to Latham's grandparents' property. But here's where things took a turn for the
They
worst.
killed him for
Because
being on
apparently
the
after he
property?
got back home after speeding off earlier in the story, he actually went inside his house, got a couple of knives and his stun gun, and came back outside to confront the Durham family. So clearly this kid wanted to fight. He wanted
Yeah,
to
he
smoke.
was
He
ready.
wanted to get down and dirty.
He was
and,
ready.
things went bad. So yeah, after going back outside, he confronted the family and fired his stun gun at one of the sons. It then says William Durham then grabbed at Latham, who slashed him in the right arm with his knife before retreating in his garage. So obviously, this is exactly where things started to
Yeah,
go
he slashed the
really
homie.
crazy. Both Mr. Durham and Zach were in the heat of the moment. Their adrenaline levels must have been through the roof, and they were in full-on battle mode. But it didn't
You got
stop there
somebody
because
who's
after
18,
that happened,
almost in his
apparently
prime,
Mr.
against an
Durham
old
had
man?
followed Zach to
Yeah, the old man, you gonna lose, bro.
the garage that
You don't look like
Zach
you in
was
shape
heading
or
to.
nothing.
It then says here a brief but violent melee that
You
ensued,
ain't
during
in
which the
shape.
stun gun was
Probably
fired
won.
repeatedly, and Latham's wife urged him to drop the knife. So yeah, you can imagine. Sarah, this 18-year-old kid's wife, was recording the whole thing. And once I reveal why she was recording this entire thing to begin with, you guys will be disgusted.
To put it on TikTok?
Unfortunately, though, in a horrific line of events, Mr. Durham was stabbed under the armpit, puncturing his lungs in what was thought to be the fatal wound that killed him. Perry, Latham's lawyer, did not respond to requests for comment on the suggestion that his client had lured William Durham to his death in hopes of gaining social media notoriety. Because as it stands right now, their lawyers, the lawyers that represent Mr. Durham's family, they genuinely believe that the whole reason for Zach continuously trying to mess with the Durham family was to get reactions out of them so that he could then record them, post it to his TikTok, and try to become TikTok famous.
I think so too, bro.
In this instance, I absolutely do believe TikTok did have a role to play in the way that things ended up in this situation.
Well, you can't blame TikTok.
Zach's own narcissism,
it's
ego,
him.
mixed in with weird-ass people in his comment section telling him to continue to keep fucking with his neighbors, led directly to this tragedy. But in my opinion, it's not even TikTok's fault necessarily.
It's not.
Because in my opinion, TikTok is just a symptom of a larger pre-existing condition that we've had in our society ever since people figured out that they could gain fame from social media. You know, the idea of getting famous on social media is like an intoxicating drug that takes over your entire body once it enters your bloodstream. And just the thought of being able to do something wild to capture the attention of millions of people across the world really has got some people hooked like a fish on bait, unaware of the impending doom about to come their way once they're captured.
So I stopped it a little early. You are more than welcome to go finish watching it. The original link is down in the description. I just wanted to see what happened. So basically, yeah, the homie was terrorizing them. He saw it start to give him a little bit of clout on TikTok. So he continued to terrorize them. And one day, the old homie, William Durham, whatever his name is, went to his house and said, look, man, we tired of you terrorizing us. Whoa, what's up, then, cuz? They started fighting, and he stabbed him and killed him. Dang, bro. Do anything for clout. That mess is crazy. But let me know what you guys thought down in the comments. This story was insane. I'm going to see y'all next time. Everybody have a great night. Have a great Thanksgiving tomorrow. I love y'all. Shout out to the gang. Peace.